Hello, I'm Britton Clennett and welcome to China Insight, where we discuss the latest issues affecting this rapidly changing country. Well, China has long been a manufacturer of mobile hardware, but Silicon Valley commentators are now hailing the country as a hotbed of mobile innovation. Creative thinkers and savvy marketers are making the most of China's more than 500 million mobile users to establish imaginative phone apps that are gathering popularity abroad. Well, Jeremy Xue is founding partner of Tazpark Ventures. He's on the show to tell us all about China's app-producing potential. Welcome to the program.
Nice to meeting you.
So, how important are apps to Chinese people's everyday lives?
I think it's very important. I think almost every people I can see daily, they were using the mobile app, working on the phone. Compare as before, people working on the PC. Right now, like myself, I will less time to using the PC, almost do everything through the mobile phone.
Okay, well, we're going to look into, you're a venture capitalist, we're going to look into why it's so important, this market. China Insight visited several leading Chinese app innovators and got their take on industry trends. Have a look.
More of our lives are being spent on a small screen. Paying bills, keeping up to date with the latest in news and entertainment, and making appointments. We do it all on our smartphones.
粗略的计算，您有多长时间是在使用手机呢
？8个小时左右。我是以手机来工作的。
2、3个小时。2、
3个小时。
对对对。
一般都是在干嘛呢？
看微信朋友圈，看看微博，看看知乎。
一般发邮件啊。再就是微信啊，还有可能是订酒店啊、支付啊，就这些。
It's scary just how much time we spend on our phones, and in China, it's just as bad as anywhere, or as good as anywhere, depending on how you look at it. There's over 500 million smartphone users here, and half of them say they use their phones for more than 5 hours a day. Now, this is a frightening figure for some people, but for others, this is inspirational. Last year, internet-based business contributed $131 billion to China's economy. 22% of that was generated on our phones. 3 giant companies, Baidu, Alibaba, and Tencent, often abbreviated as BAT, have redefined the internet in China. But you can add to this almost 6 million new startups just in the first half of 2015 alone, all vying for a piece of China's ever-growing e-commerce market. And within this market, one of the fastest-growing sectors is O2O, or online to offline, meaning the blending of e-commerce and traditional retail and services. And O2O competition isn't just in the digital space. Here in a commercial district of Beijing, stands are packed with drinks, toys and tea sets, but they're not for sale. Every day these O2O startups take to the street, trying to attract new users the old-fashioned way. An example of what can be achieved by these young startups looms overhead, just across the street. On the top floor of this landmark building, entrepreneur Li Tao runs Apis. It's just a year old, but is already being touted as one of China's most successful startups.
我知道用户遇到了什么样的问题，而这些问题怎么样去解决。但是的的确确，我从来没想到过它会这么快的速度，它能够在1年之内在全球会获得2亿用户的使用和追捧，这个是超出了我的想象。
The users Li Tao is referring to are Android users. The problem is that Android can run slowly and be tricky to manage on older devices. His product solves this by making the device more user-friendly and in turn reducing its energy use, making older androids look and work like newer ones. The key to his success has been tapping into developing markets where cheap phones are king.
从全球角度来说，美国、中国都已经是移动互联网发展的非常成熟的市场，但是在中美之外，我们可以看到，包括巴西、包括印度、包括俄罗斯、包括东南亚、包括中东，还有非常多的国家和地区，他们的互联网发展实际上是相对来说比较落后的，或者是比中国落后的。那么这就意味着为我们创造了一个巨大的市场空间。那么我们也希望能够通过为这些正在发展中或者是正在高速发展的这种新兴市场的用户提供服务，能够来获取更大的这样的一个市场份额。
But Li Tao's ambitions extend beyond improving the functionality of phones. Ellen Shaft, a recent communications graduate from Chicago, helps run APIS's online campaigns.
So every week we try to make new campaigns and new posts that are going to be really captivating and exciting for our global audience all around the world. And then when new things are posted, basically we get a lot of feedback and we really just try to engage in conversation with our users.
And you're trying to create a community, right, around the idea
Yeah.
of... Do you think it could be, become something recognizable like a Facebook or Twitter or something like that?
I think so. I think we're getting there.
那在互联网的这个行业里，竞争里边有一个很重要的一个逻辑，或者是有一个很重要的秘诀，就是抓新用户。因为新用户刚出现的时候，那么你提供给他的产品和服务，将会决定他在互联网上未来的这个体验和未来的他的选择。我们经常提到创新，从某种意义上来说，创新不是为了创新而创新，是为了解决用户的问题而创新。创新存在的意义和价值就在于它能够实现用户价值。
It's no secret that if you want to capture a big audience, make your product fun. Hence, the rise of mobile gaming. Alex is the biggest mobile game developer in Asia and the 5th biggest in the world. It's perhaps best known for Clash of Kings, a mobile game now with over 65 million players. At the company's headquarters in Beijing, the offices are named after countries, reflecting their global ambitions.
这就是我们除了就是借鉴欧美的主流文化以外，再加入各个地方不同的文化，然后能够吸引各个地区不同的用户造成的一个结果。现在从这个实际效果来看，我们对于全球的覆盖更好。
Alex now has 7 games and over 50 million monthly active users. Although Alex is a notable force in the mobile gaming world, it still lags behind the US companies in the English-speaking markets. So they've had to be more strategic in their approach.
现在他们就是把他们的重点市场区，比如说主攻美国，那我们呢就尽量避开锋芒。我们采取的是一个农村包围城市，全球包围美国的这样的一个策略。那这样的话呢，就是在全球各个地方做得非常好的时候，我们会回到美国跟他们进行决战。
In 1999, China launched its Going Out policy, a way of encouraging Chinese companies to look beyond their own domestic market. Since then, Chinese outbound investment across almost all industries, from natural gas to construction to telecommunications, has skyrocketed. And more recently, all eyes have turned to China's e-commerce companies, who, despite having a home market base of almost 800 million internet users, have ambitions far beyond that. So if you've made it as an app developer in China, how do you penetrate the overseas market? To find out, we go to Xi'an, the city that's home to China's app marketing giant, Yemobi.
Hello. These are Daniel.
Nice meeting you, Daniel.
Peter Zhou started out in internet marketing in the US, where he observed US companies repackaging Chinese-made goods and selling them for many times the price. He realized that if Chinese companies could simply market themselves better, they could be successful independently. So he began chatting to a friend back home. Together, they conceived of a company that would help other companies go abroad. It was at this time that he began to see the massive potential of the mobile sector.
As 2010, we already can see the big trend of mobile. At that time, everybody was talking mobile, but there is no successful mobile company. At that time, we need to bet whether we should cut the other business and focus on mobile.
Fast forward 5 years, and YMOB is one of the biggest mobile marketing companies in the world. Through a global network of offices, they not only help companies like Baidu and Sohu expand overseas, they've also helped companies like Uber enter China.
So right now I'm in the YMOB office where they're currently helping to connect the app developers with the potential users, and they're currently working on 4,000 cases, and these cases are from all around the world, as we can see right over here. And as a result of their work, today, right now, have got 32 million clicks for all of these 4,000 cases, and hopefully these clicks translate into downloads.
Kevin Deng, who used to work for IBM, now heads YMOB's R&D. Their not-so-secret weapon is big data.
We gather this data, also plus this history data, so we can see what kind of app could be accepted by what kind of people. So with that data, when you have a new app, we can predict, so if I deliver this as to a customer, what kind of possibility this customer could accept this app or want to purchase this app.
But for an app to be successful, you can't rely on good marketing alone.
So basically, if you have one really good product, and if the product can really give the user benefit, then we can very quickly expand the product to the global market. All the population around the world can benefit your business model, your innovation.
There's a lot of talk in China right now about innovation, and people are questioning to what extent Chinese companies can be truly innovative. Now, what do you think it will take?
It's a hard question for me. I think it will take some time. At least now, they are not that enthusiastic at innovation. They are more interested in create or copy the mature business and to be successful.
But others are more optimistic about China's potential for innovation.
事实上，我在硅谷跟硅谷非常多的美国本土的，包括在美国的一些以色列的一些创新的企业的创始人和 CEO 都进行过交流，他们非常认可中国的创新。在互联网里边具有领导地位的两个国家，一个是美国，一个是中国。美国文化里边是过于强势的，比如说我们看到 Facebook， 我们看到 Twitter， 我们看到谷歌，他们的服务产品拿到全世界都是用同一种文化。对于他们来说，他们就代表着未来，他们在领导全世界。
I think user they don't care where this app created, as long as they solve the problem they are facing. They don't care whether it's a Chinese product or it's a Japan product. So that's the good thing of mobile. The mobile is born to be internationally.
那么中国的互联网的创新呢，最核心的实际上是商业模式的核心，因为中国本身有着广大的市场。中国的互联网企业是在8亿市场的这样高速增长过程中，我们称之为叫做血拼而来的，真的是中国。我们经常说中国是一片红海，那么这就锻炼了中国互联网企业更具有竞争意识，更具有这种本地化服务意识。我们会去尊重当地的文化，根据当地用户的需要来定制他们的产品，来定制他们的服务，甚至为他们定制每一个功能。
Amid concerns over the economic slowdown, some worry that China's startup capital will diminish, in turn knocking confidence in its newly emerging startup culture. Li Tao interprets the economic slowdown as something natural and healthy, the start of a new phase.
在过去30年，中国的传统的外贸经济呢，实际上是以生产加工、贸易类的产品出口。那么，我认为在未来的10到20年里边，中国将会成为全球最大的数字商品和互联网产品的输出基地。所以，你从这个角度上来说，中国经济并不是处在放缓，而是我认为正处在一个产业转型和夯实基础的这样的一个时候。
While China's tech industry has in many ways been playing catch-up with the West, when it comes to e-commerce, and specifically mobile tech, the competition is on a more even playing field.
今天的中国互联网已经不仅仅是美国创新技术的一个学生了，甚至说我们在很多时候已经有了自己的一些创新的理念和技术。
And already examples of China's massive influence on our small devices is right at our fingertips.
For the utility apps, the top 10 apps, 9 out of them are from Chinese companies. And I believe more and more apps will be created by the Chinese companies and will have, good, place in the global market.
So we heard towards the end there, China is no longer a student. Is that your view as well?
Yeah, I agree. So we are just in a stage change from the student to be the equal partners.
Most foreigners have heard of, as was mentioned in the video, BAT, Baidu, Alibaba, Tencent. To what extent are these companies focusing their efforts abroad?
I think the BAT, because they started from the local China, so I think right now their main business is still in China. But I do believe actually they already started doing to expanding their international or global market. That's for sure. They have a lots of investment or very ambitious plan to become a global company.
What is the state of the app industry in China?
App industry is, I think, is already quite full. Several years ago, if you can develop an app, you are very advanced. You are leaders. Right now, all people can develop apps. Apps is no longer the
So you're
barrier.
saying the market is saturated. If I was an app developer, you would discourage me from doing it because the risk is too high?
App is not a goal. App is just a way to the goal. So first you have to tell me what is your goal. Is this goal to use if the app is a good way to lead to your goal, then app is okay. In internet investment, I think the execution capability is more and more important. Great ideas always happen. Technology here is really not kind of barrier. One key thing is that this team is to have good business sense to execute this idea, to go faster than the other competitors. People really compete who can do fast.
You need to be able to walk the walk, so to speak.
Yeah.
How advanced is China's app industry, in your view?
I think China is really in the leader's position, for sure. This is because the whole economy size decide. Why the U.S. always becomes the leader is because the economy base is there. So China right now already the second largest market.
But then you've also got countries like Israel that do very well in this sector.
Israel is very unique. Israel, you can consider it a part of from business point of view, they do have a very good innovation capability, but they always rely on the U.S. market. So there are many great Israel companies develop very great product. But from the consumer point of view, you never know it's an Israel company. They just show as a U.S. company. Yeah, because they have to, the people quite familiar with the U.S. market. They behave like a U.S. company.
Is there a lot of partnership going on between countries, between China and other countries?
Many. This kind of partnership not just happening between the BATs, that's kind of large company with the other countries' large companies. Even many small companies have their way to working with, align with the other countries' companies. That's for sure. Internet business in China is already quite mature. So many smart people looking change their view or eyes to go to see the global opportunities because they quite confident and believe their capability, their skill to be their skill they practiced in China market can be used in some other place. Maybe at this stage, little bit difficult to be used in the U.S. market or other advanced country, but for developing country, their capability, their skill set is good enough to help the other market over there.
Looking into the future, do you see more of this, more joint ventures between China and other countries? And what are the benefits of it anyway?
Yeah, this benefit actually, I think for sure is a mutual benefit. For sure is a mutual benefit. So you can consider two kinds of cooperation. One kind of cooperation is between the China's internet company with the advanced countries, the internet company. But more important, more opportunity you will see is a China internet company to developing business opportunity in developing country.
Like an app like, APIS that we saw in the video, I think it resonates with me as something that is quite groundbreaking because you're really reaching out to developing companies and utilizing an potential economic base there.
Yes, I think their achievement is quite amazing. And that is because the founder or the teams, he has a global mindset and also he knows what's the difference between the China and the other countries. And all their unaddressed market, unaddressed needs, they already fully practiced here. They know how quickly to address that kind of needs.
Right.
That's the what I call the execution capability, skill.
Knowing the market.
Knowing the market and do it quickly.
Okay, well, I want to talk a little bit more about the growth potential abroad for Chinese app companies. We're going to take a short break, during which you might be tempted to pick up those mobile phones. We'll take a note of which ones you click on and see if any are Chinese. When we return, we'll be asking people here in Beijing to tell us what apps they use are made in China. Stay with us. Welcome back to China Insight. Well, Chinese app innovation is on the rise. What Chinese apps do you use? That's the question we posed to a few people in Beijing. Let's see what we found.
Are you using some Chinese apps?
I'm using a couple, very few, but I am using some Chinese apps, yes.
I'm using some apps like calling taxis. That's an app on my WeChat.
是比如说一开始的那个 WhatsApp。 在国外可能就基础通讯功能，但到国内变成微信了以后，它加了很多附加功能。我觉得就是它就是国内它很喜欢开发一些综合性的 app， 但外国可能更专注于某个点。
I think WeChat's much better. WeChat integrates a lot more. So like today, just a few minutes ago, I topped up with my mobile phone. You can pay for taxis. You can make bank transfers to your friends.
小创新、微创新吧，我觉得对于目前阶段的中国足够了。 然后等到什么时候这个软件行业走到世界的前沿，那个时候再谈真创新。
On the core functionality, not particularly innovative. However, on enhancing the capabilities of the app and making life easier, I think that that's where the Chinese companies have done innovations on the sides. Yes.
我觉得中国企业创新性肯定是有的，但是因为中国的那个人数消费者基数比较大。 那肯定是容易起来的一些企业，肯定是它已经拥有一定的那个用户群的企业。那作为一个比较小的一个创新型企业的话，那如果要起来，可能会在 idea 上面会更要创新一些。
The Chinese companies need to first build that trust before they can really start making a difference in the foreign countries.
So WeChat is rarely seen abroad, is that right? It's predominantly used by Chinese people.
Yes, but the interesting thing is months ago when I visited Silicon Valley, and after I changed the business card with people I visit, and he said, "How about let me know your WeChat account or scan the two-dimension code and exchange the WeChat account?" So because he said, "We know in China right now." If we want to do the business with you, you're always on the WeChat.
And from what I know, there really isn't an equivalent in terms of multi-function. You know, you have different apps for your messaging service, a service you can make calls internationally, to post photos, to use social media, to pay for phone bills. But really, WeChat brings in all of that.
Yes.
Do you think the WeChat model will be copied abroad? Do you think it will be exported abroad? Do you think there is a foreign equivalent already?
Because WeChat is, first of all, they use the instant message to make the users sticky in their, spend many, many times in their apps.
To get that traction.
Yeah, get that traction. Then they add on the payment function, the picture, the video, more and more they will add. Then people naturally switch to that kind of function. Functions can be a lot, but what's the key function you want to address, give the customer to use? That's a cutting point. It's nothing to do with a good or bad, so consolidate everything together or separate. It really depends on customer needs.
So you don't think someone in the US who maybe doesn't have contact with Chinese people, who doesn't do business with Chinese people, won't get on WeChat in, say, a few years' time, 10 years' time?
Because right now the world is flat. People work together and talk to each other, forget about the timing, forget about the regional, separate each other, all kind of things. So eventually you will see some kind of tools, maybe not WeChat, maybe WeChat, or maybe something else will be used by more and more people. In the digital era, so people will gradually using more common tools to talk to each other. That's a trend. But by today, we don't know what it is. That's what I'm thinking.
Okay, speaking of trends, Jeremy, I want you to gaze into the crystal ball a little bit more. What other trends do you see in the future?
I think from internet point of view, in the future, internet as a tool can help many more things than today we see. Many more healthcare service will go on the internet, give us more convenient. And also more new style entertainment will go through the internet into our daily lifetime. Internet as a tool is just a start. You will see more change, more fantastic, good opportunity or good product or good service on our table, on your mobile phone.
Especially in China?
Not only in China.
Everywhere.
Everywhere. Like US, like China, to be the leader. The capability we build is to serve the whole human beings. From technology point of view, there's no any barrier. But for business development point of view, you do need to put an effort to fit your product to the specific needs for a specific country. That's for business person should to do. But internet itself is a global asset. There's no boundary for the any users. So that's why I continually mention this is a great opportunity for all the business people and also for the users.
Thank you very much for coming on the program, Jeremy.
Thank you. My pleasure.
That's all we have time for today, but if you have any comments or questions, email us at chinainside@cctv.com, or you can find us on Facebook, Weibo and WeChat. And we'll see you next time for more stories and discussion on China out of China. Goodbye.